Hey guys, welcome to another recipe / cook with me video. I'm super excited to share this veggie packed pasta / pizza sauce. You can put this sauce, like I said, on pizza, on the top of pasta, over meatballs. It's very versatile, and as you can see, it is packed with veggies. If you see any veggies here that you yourself or your kids don't like, do not worry. You cannot taste the vegetables in this sauce, I promise you. I know it's hard to believe, and some of those veggies there have pretty strong tastes, but just trust me, you cannot taste it in the sauce once it's all done. First thing I'm going to do is just chop up all of my veggies, and I'm not going to chop them up finely or carefully or anything like that, because at the end of this recipe I am going to blend it all up. So don't worry about getting it all fine or perfect. You can do it in big chunks and it is completely fine. You can also change around whichever vegetables you want to use. If you want to take some out or add some, you're more than welcome. This is my favorite garlic crusher because, as you can see, it doesn't have much waste. I feel the regular ones that I use with the handles, I used to use them, there's so much wasted garlic, so I don't use those anymore. I bought this one off Amazon. I'll link it down below if you guys are interested. It's my favorite. Broccoli is something that I cannot get Jet to eat, so I love that I can incorporate a bunch of broccoli into this recipe. As you can see here, I'm just chopping it all up. I'm going to pop it in this big bowl here. This big bowl is going to just be all of my vegetables other than the garlic and the onion, which, as you can see there, I've separated into a different bowl. Now I'm just going to grab a large handful of baby spinach, which is something else that I don't think any of the kids eat spinach. Like, if you put a piece of spinach in front of any of them, they would not be interested in it, and honestly I can't blame them. Now I'm just going to cut up a quarter of a capsicum. And like I said, it doesn't have to be fine. You're probably going to hear me say that a lot in this video because I just think it's amazing that you can just chop it up into huge chunks and it's going to be hidden at the end of it. I'm just watching my vegetables and chopping them up. My favorite thing about this dish, like I said, is that you don't have to chop everything up finely, which means I can run around and watch the kids at the same time. Like, it's not stressing me out, feeling like I have to perfectly cut this onion finely or someone's going to find it in their meal. I cannot be the only one that peels my mushrooms. Please tell me I'm not. When I discovered that you could peel mushrooms, I was like, where has this been all my life? And have I been eating dirt? I was just like baffled. My zucchinis as well. I'm not a huge fan of zucchinis. Like, I don't hate them, but I don't particularly enjoy the taste of them. So I love that I can incorporate this and all of its nutrients into the dish, and I don't even know what's in there. Honestly, if you cooked this dish for me and I didn't know what was in there, I wouldn't know, I promise. Here's my big bowl of veggies. I just love being able to incorporate all of these vegetables into the kids' diets, especially when they don't even know that it's there. Because if they knew it was there, obviously they wouldn't eat it. I think the bacon in this meal is what gives it like the bolognese taste at the end of it. If you are a vegetarian, you're more than welcome to just leave the bacon out, but I personally love the flavor that it gives it. I do feel like it just makes it taste like a regular bolognese sauce that you would buy at a store. I'm just breaking it up with my fingers just so that it can all get cooked evenly, although it doesn't really matter because at the end of it, it's all going into a blender. I'm just going to fill my large pot with water and pop that on the stove to boil that water to put the pasta in. Then I'm just going to put this pan here on a medium to high heat with some olive oil and chuck my garlic and my onion in there. Now I'm just going to stir that and cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once the onion has been stirred for about 2 to 3 minutes, I'm just going to chuck my bacon in there and give that a stir and cook for a further 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm going to add the rest of my beautiful, colorful vegetables. I can't express to you guys how happy this recipe makes me because I do use this sauce in multiple meals throughout the week, and it makes a bunch of, I just love that I can incorporate all of this goodness into my kids' diets and they just don't even know that it's there. Because for those of you who don't know, our 8-year-old is an extremely picky eater. What I'm doing here is just stirring the vegetables until they're soft and the spinach has wilted. Once that has happened, which takes generally about 3 minutes, I'm going to add my passata sauce. I just get the one from Coles. It's like the Coles brand. I think it's like $1.50 or something. It's really cheap. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of water to get the most out of that sauce there. I think I do that twice. I put more water in there and once again pour it out just so that I get all of the passata sauce out. And then I'm going to season it with salt and add some Italian herbs. This obviously just gives it a little bit of extra flavor. Now I'm just going to stir it all together so that it's completely combined and all of the veggies are completely covered in the sauce. And as you can see here, I'm just patting the vegetables down so that they are covered by the sauce, which I don't think really matters because what I'm going to do is bring it to a boil and then pop a lid on it, and then I'm going to turn the heat down to about medium on my stove. If you're using a gas stove, you probably want to turn it to low, but I turn it down to about medium on my stove, and then I'm going to leave it simmer for 10 minutes while I pop my pasta on, because the water over here is boiling now and ready to go. Make sure that you have turned that on before you put your sauce on so that your pasta is ready to be cooked while your sauce is simmering. As you saw, I just added some salt from the grinder into this pasta because I ran out of table salt. It did not do the job. Once 10 minutes has gone by, take the lid off of your sauce, remove it from the heat and give it a bit of a stir. My pasta was not quite ready at this point, which was fine because I wanted to let my sauce cool for about 5 to 10 minutes before I popped it into my blender. So I waited 5 to 10 minutes until the pasta was almost ready, and then I went ahead and just put my wonderful veggie packed sauce into my blender. I start by ladling it in because I swear I have the weakest wrists known to mankind and I just can't lift that frying pan. I'm so weak. So I start by ladling in the sauce into the blender, and then once there's basically nothing left, I pick it up and scoop the rest in. Pretty self-explanatory. I bet you can guess what I'm about to do. Blend it all up. As you can see, all the veggies are getting chopped up. The color changes, the consistency obviously changes. I love watching the veggies just get blended up into nothing. What I do now is just take it off and give it a bit of a shake to bring any big bits of veggies to the bottom again, and then I just blitz it for another 10 seconds or so. And as you can see, it just looks like regular bolognese sauce. You would have no idea that there is like a bajillion different vegetables in here, including mushrooms, which is crazy to me. Now I'm just going to drain my pasta and give it a bit of a wash. And now it's ready to serve. I'm just going to put my pasta in the bowls and then put the pasta sauce on top. I like to use spiral pasta for this recipe because I find that it holds the sauce within the pasta really, really well. So if kids want to pick around it, they really can't because it's in the grooves of the pasta, if that makes sense. If you happen to have really picky eaters that won't eat the sauce for some strange reason, it's hard to pick around because it's all in the grooves of the pasta. Now I'm just going to add some Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese is my favorite type of cheese, but if your kids don't like Parmesan cheese, you can just put regular cheese on top. Some of the kids, Jet likes regular cheese and so does Talia. I don't think they're a big fan of Parmesan cheese, so I end up putting regular cheese on theirs, and Lily doesn't like cheese at all, so I just skip the cheese for her altogether. But I personally find the Parmesan cheese transforms this dish for me. I love it so much, especially since I've started buying shaved Parmesan cheese. Highly recommend it. It really, really transforms the dish, and it's ever since I've started adding it, I like it even more than I already did. It's such a delicious dish. I know it doesn't look like it because of the ingredients, trust me, I know, but I promise you guys, it's so delicious. And now I'm just gonna season it a little bit further with a little bit more salt. I do skip the salt, the extra salt for the babies, but I do add, as you saw, a little bit of salt. And that is it, guys. That is my hidden veggies recipe. I hope you guys love this video. As you can see, I have a bunch left over for pizza and for future recipes. I hope you loved it. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.